everybody, Ben Cathro here. I'm going to answer a question that is as old as maybe about 4 years ago when it comes to racing. What is better, 29 inch or 27.5? So this is a really interesting question because it doesn't come down to just one thing. I have people asking me, should I get a 29 or should I get a 650B? The answer is so personal that I can't tell you. I don't know what's going to work for you. I don't know what's going to suit your bikes. I don't know what's going to work in the tracks that you ride. But what we can test, scientifically to a certain degree, is what's faster. And that is what we're going to do today. I'm in a frosty but sunny Innerleithen. We've got the adrenaline uplift running and I'm going to do some back-to-back runs on both bikes, time them both, see what's quicker. I've only had about a day and a half on the new Santacruz V10 29-inch downhill bike, but I've had a full season on the old 650B bike, so I'm very comfy on this one. But I'll say the new one does feel pretty good already. Part list is as similar as I can get it. Tires are the same, suspension is the same, but there's a few different parts going on, so there's a little bit of variance. So what I need to do right now is I've had a few runs on this bike already. I need to have a shot on the old bike, make sure that's working, test that out, make sure I'm familiar with the track, and then we will get to timing. What do you think is going to win? Why don't you drop that into the comments and say what's going to win and by how much before you watch the video. I know people are going to cheat. But anyway, let's go. All right, first run, all the cameras on. Let's get used to the old bike again. I'll show you the track. Let's go. So here we are. Not right at the top of the hill, there is more track above here, but for time purposes it's much quicker just to hear from the uplift. So the track I'm going to do is the IXS track, and it was built for the IXS European Cup that was held here quite a few years ago. So without further ado, we'll just drop in and I'll talk you through this track we're going to use. So right off the start we got to go fast because we've got a road gap, so let's go. Speed. Whoa. Hold the left line, it's a bit... Oh GoPro. You've done it again. You've frozen, haven't you? This is Teddy. He's my GoPro Hero 7. He's got a fluffy brown wind cover on him, and I got this for filming this video. But this flipping thing keeps freezing. It'll freeze just like the operating system will freeze and none of the buttons will work and I have to pull the battery out. Or while it's recording, the image will freeze and the sound keeps going like just happened there. I've done all the recommended things. I've manually re-updated the firmware to the most recent one. I've tried different SD cards and the thing still freezes. I normally use one of these. That's a Sony FDRX 3000 action cam. The image isn't as good. The Hero 7 is better and it's smoother as well, but this is reliable. This thing does not freeze. Anyway, luckily I had this running, but it was in portrait mode, so we'll throw that up on the screen while I talk you through the track, and I'll just throw some other clips up. James Wilson, my teammate, was there riding as well. I'll throw some clips of him. His sister was here as well. She was playing about. Get that on, show you the track, and then we'll get to the testing. So let's go. Speed. Whoa. Hold the left line, it's a bit smoother. Whew. This is the tunnel. It's just flat out speed tucking. And we pull left into the IXS track. And this is just like floating, dancing through the trees. It's like Star Wars on the speeders. Or out into the open, lots of line choice. I like this right line. Oh. We're going to catch someone already, I can see them. Let's hunt them down. Carrying speed around these turns. Got to watch you don't come into them too fast. Woo! Real fun track. Woo-hoo-hoo. As you can see, it's quite loose today. It's been quite dry here in Scotland. Uncharacteristically dry. So there will be a bit of variance in the tracks with how loose they are. Let's see if we can pick this guy off. Oh, thank you. That's nice of him. Cool, so that is the upper section pretty much done. Coming to this road crossing and we'll just keep it going into the next bit. Woo! This is a really tight turn. The tree's so close on the inside. Innerleithen's famous for these really tight trees. Oh, I used to call this the Innerleithen tree slalom. Whoa, that's close. So now we come into the lower section which traverses across the hill, and it's all about carrying speed, staying low, keeping the eyes up. Faster you're going, faster or further you got to look ahead. Now we got some big old jumps. Scrub them. Oh yeah, loves the scrub. Rip and rip. Lovely. Such a fast bit here. Let's keep the eyes up, keep it going. Oh, so rough. Into the bomb hole. Big jump. Here we go. Way. Not bad. Keep it going, keep it going. Flat turn, that's a really tricky one to keep the grip on. Big, long, rough turn. Final straight. Final turn. And finish. So yeah, it is a rad track. It's one of my favourites. It's mostly flat out, but there are a few tighter, more technical bits. I think it should be a fair test between the two bikes. To do this comparison, I'm going to do 6 runs. I felt like that was the most amount of runs I could do before I fatigued, and that'll give us 3 runs on each bike to get a fair comparison. The way I was going to do the timing was some general timing using this stopwatch to give me an idea of how each run was going, but then I was going to use the GoPro footage to get an exact frame by frame bang on time. Because I was filming 50 frames a second, it would do it to 0.2 of a second. But GoPro kept freezing, so I had to use this. I checked in the video footage about how long it took from starting my stopwatch to starting my run, finishing the run to hitting stop on the stopwatch, and the variance was about 0.3 of a second. So the stopwatch is actually accurate enough to within 0.6 if you go either way. So it's not the best, but it'll do. It's enough for this test. Enough talk. First run, 27.5 inch bike. Let's set a base time. So let's see, first timed run. Here we go. So run 1 went really well. It was smooth, no major mistakes. I didn't push very hard because it was a first run, but the bike feels rougher than the 29 inch bike. I was getting a lot more feedback through my hands and feet, and it was definitely more fatiguing. Whether this was wheel size, suspension setup, we don't know, but that is what I was feeling. On this run, I did a 2:34.41. That is the base time. Now let's see how the 29er compares. First run. Let's see if the other bike's quicker. So here we go. First run on the 29er. Let's see how this one feels. Run number 2 also went really well, no major mistakes. The bike felt smoother on the small hits, the chatter, but on bigger to medium hits, it actually felt like the back end would kick a little under braking. I felt like this was suspension setup, as I hadn't done much to set the bike up properly, but other than that, it felt quite slow actually. The bike, it was almost like there was a headwind. At the end of that run, I actually kind of made a mistake when I checked my watch. I thought I'd gone about 8 seconds slower. When I went back, I was like, Craig, the bike's slower. Way slower. Yeah. Felt windier that time. I felt like on the long straights, the bike was just like crawling. But actually, I just got the seconds wrong. It was actually a 2:32.99. A couple seconds quicker, but I usually find I go faster on a second run, so let's not make any decisions yet. Run number 2 in the 27.5. Run 2 on the 650 bike. Run number 3 and back on the 27.5 inch bike. I pushed a little harder on this run, and I started to notice that the bike was more responsive than the 29. I could change direction a little bit quicker, and if I made any mistakes, it felt like I could get back on track quicker, which is it's a good thing, but it also means the bike is a little bit more unstable. No mistakes again. I did a 2:31.69 in that run. Faster than the 29 bike. Still, we got more runs to do. Currently, 27.5 inches the fastest, but on that run, I was getting hand cramps, so I feel like I could go faster on the 27.5 inch bike. So I nipped back to the van to make a couple little adjustments. Get so much feedback through my hand. All I can do now to get it to be a bit more comparable, I'm going to take a little bit of pressure out, back off the compression a little bit. I want them to feel a wee bit more similar. I'm going to drop it by about 2 psi. Doesn't sound like much, makes a difference. Try that. I'll just go for a bit of juice lubes, fork stiction. A little bit, give them a few cycles, wipe off the excess, bit of dirt coming out there. There we go, that'll be better. Sponsored! So this is run 2 on the 29, and see the hand cramps. So good thing about this run, didn't get any hand cramps this time. Now it could be grips, because I got some chunkier ODI grips on this bike, which could be more comfortable, could be the big wheels, could be the fresher suspension, still not sure exactly why. I made a small mistake in the upper windy section of the track, which I felt might have lost me some time. Rest of the run was really good though. Time wise, I did a 2:30.67 on that run. Oh, a little bit faster. It's not big though, but I'll tell you one thing, I still didn't feel like I was going fast in the 29. That might mean I can push harder. Hey, 27.5, run 3. Run number 5 and the last run for 27.5 inch. Can the little wheels claim the win today? The forks are running a bit better. Let's see what I can do. On this run, I stalled a little bit in a turn before the long flat section, but I did put in some more hard pedal strokes to compensate. So I'm thinking I didn't lose too much time there. No other major mistakes, smooth everywhere else. The little adjustment of my forks and the bit of juice lubes on the forks sorted out the hand cramps, so it did not hold me back. Time-wise, I actually went a little bit slower on that one with a 2:31.8. But remember, I have a bit of variance with my stopwatch, so it might have been even a little bit quicker. But it was about the same time. Exact same time as that bike did the run before. No hand cramps that time, forks felt better. I feel like that is a solid sign that that was my comfortable limit of speed on that bike. Run number 6, the final run. I didn't have that much energy left. I knew this was going to be the last chance to set a time. Let's see what I do. On this run, what I decided to do was push a little bit harder to try and get the 29 to feel as sketchy as the 27.5 inch. Because the smaller wheeled bike feels a little bit more on edge, and the 29 has just felt calm and smooth the whole way through. So I went a bit harder into corners, braked a little bit later, and it still felt slower. But anyway, with pushing hard, I did make a couple of mistakes. I stalled on one of the top turns just before the fire break. Lost me a little bit of time there, but I did recover well. Didn't affect the next section. Things went smoothly through the middle of the track, but towards the bottom, didn't get hand cramps, but my arms were just fatigued and I just got arm pump. I felt like I didn't have much control of the bike. So I ended up having to like death grip the last few turns just to get to the bottom. That's how bad my arms were feeling. No big mistakes other than that. I wasn't convinced that the run was going to be much better. But when I glanced at my stopwatch, it was faster. 2:28.3. Looks like 29 on the day was fastest for me. Now that does not mean that 29 inch is better. It does not mean that 29 inch is faster. It means that on that day, on that bike, I was faster on that track. And that might seem like a bit of a cop-out. But the thing is, there's too many variables there. I don't think 29 is faster than 27.5. I don't think 27.5 is faster than 29. It's a personal preference. I think both bikes can go at the same speed. One is more nimble, one is more smooth. Yeah, I think people need to stop stressing about it, to be honest. I asked on Instagram and on YouTube what questions you guys have about 27.5 versus 29, so I got a few of the questions here that I'm going to answer. So a lot of people were talking about, what about 29 inch front, 27.5 inch rear? Well, on the V10 you can't do that. It doesn't work. You could potentially put a 29 front on the old bike, the 27.5 inch bike, but you can't fit a 27.5 inch in the back end of the 29. It would drop the bottom bracket too much. You'd be smacking pedals everywhere. You'd have to make a new type of dropout to get the bottom bracket to go to the correct height. It's not possible. So this question is definitely coming because of your boy Martin Mays absolutely killing it in the Enduro World Series with a 29 front, 27.5 inch rear. Controversial opinion.
he's only doing that because they don't make a good 29-inch enduro bike yet. I think they've just slapped a 29 fork on the front and that wheel because he prefers the way the 29-inch wheel rides. I think he'll be on a full 29 front and rear soon enough, but they just don't have the bike yet. The only reason you would ever want to do that is because you buzz your bum on the back wheel too much if you run a 29. So people who are smaller or people that move back a lot, that is the only reason you'd want to do it. And a really common question, and something that always comes up in this debate, is which one was more fun to ride? That depends what your version of fun is. My version of fun is going flat out and feeling safe and comfortable doing it. So the 29-inch bike makes things feel more stable, more settled. So I find the 29-inch bike more fun because I feel like I can go fast safely. But if I was wanting to just play around, hop, skip, jump lines, just like get wild, get loose, then I prefer the 27.5. So you need to tell yourself, what do you want to do? And that'll help you choose what bike you need. So, to wrap things up, what is better for me is the 29. And on that bombshell, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe because there are more videos coming, and if you didn't like the video, feel free to hit the dislike button twice. See you in the next video, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Oh yeah, don't forget about the giveaway. If you didn't spot it, you better watch the video again. Keep the eyes peeled.
So what I need to do right now is wait for that car to go past. Thanks, Scott.